So hi and welcome to part 14, and this is the final part of the remix of the How to Make Your Own Social Network series that I'll be doing. And in this video what we'll be doing is we're going to be making the post form work, and we're going to be displaying the posts from the database that get sent. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to the post submit button. We're going to put an on click event, and we're going to say JavaScript send post. It's actually send underscore post. And what this will do is it'll send our post to the server via Ajax without us having, so that means we won't have to refresh the page. And the next thing we need to do is we need to go to our file called main.js, and we need to, we actually need to include it in the header first, which we actually have the header open. And we're going to go down here and we're just going to say script. Source is JavaScript or js/main.js, and we're going to close that up, just finish this off, and the type in as well. So text/JavaScript is the type of the file we're going to be opening. And now we've got that, we need to actually open the file so I can show you what it looks like. So this is the file here, it's inside of the JavaScript folder. If we open it up, we can see this is the whole thing, this is the whole function as well. So just copy this down and I'll explain what it does. So what this does is it creates a variable called HR, and it's equal to a new XML HTTP request. We're also storing the URL, which is sendpost.php. The fn is the value of the post button. That's the value of the post, that's the value of the post that's getting sent, and then we're appending the two variables, we're appending post equals to the fn variable, and assigning that to a variable called vars. This is when we open the post request. The hr.set request header is what tells the browser what kind of request it's going to be. The hr.onset or onReady state change function is the function that whenever the post is submitted, it is the function that sends back the return so that we know whether the post has been sent or not. hr.send is obviously the function that sends the post, and then document.getElementById.status.inner or document.getElementById status.innerHTML equals processing is just a div that we put the text processing in to let people know that their post is being processed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to profile.php, and we need to actually create a new file called sendpost.php. So let's create send_post.php. So the first thing we want to do is we want to include the connect file. So we say include inc/connect.inc.php, and then what we're going to do is we're going to paste this code in, and these are just variables that we're assigning. So the first one's just setting post equal to the post variable. Then we're saying if post doesn't equal 0, or doesn't equal nothing, which means if the post was sent, then we're assigning the rest of these variables. So for the moment, date added by is going to be test123, and user posted 2 is going to be test123. We'll be fixing that in a later video, but date added is just obviously the date function, which gets the date from the server, and it formats it in the format we tell it to inside this function here. So it's going to say year, month, day, like that, and then it assigns it to the date added variable. And then finally we just paste this code in, and that's our whole file finished. So what this is it says SQL command equals insert into posts the values, and then this is the these are the values you want to insert into the database, and they all correspond to one of the rows in the database, and they're all in the correct order as well. Then down here is where we run the query, and then we have an or die MySQL error so that we know if there's an error. And then if someone tries to submit a post without entering something into the post field, then we echo that error out. So let's see, does this work now? So we're going to go to my profile, we're going to refresh, and I'm going to type in a post. So this is a test. I'm going to click post. And what should happen is if I click browse, okay, we had an empty result. So that means there was no actual post entered into the database. Okay, so I found out why the code didn't work. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of the form. That's not what stopped it working. I mean, it would have worked with it, but it would have been pointless because the JavaScript code would have been pointless then because the form still would have reloaded the page. So we just get rid of that because then it allows us to use the JavaScript, which means we don't have to reload the page. And also the problem was we were in the header file. This says script type equals js-main.js. So what we need to do is change that to source, and then let's refresh the page, and then let's try and send a post. So this is a test post. Let's click on posts now, and as you can see we have one post in our database added, and this all went through JavaScript. So if I clicked this a lot of times and I clicked browse, as you can see now we have 5 different rows. So now what we're going to do is we're going to display the posts. So to do that we go back to the profile.php page and we're going to paste in this code. So first we need to delete this, the contents of this div, and we need to just expand it a little bit. And what we're going to do is paste, we need to paste in the PHP block first. And what this is basically doing is it's just a MySQL query that gets all the posts from the database where user posted 2 equals username. And it orders them by ID and it limits them to 10. And then all it does is when it gets the rows, it just it gets the respective rows out of the array that gets returned, and it stores them in a variable. So this is the last bit of code we need to paste in, and this is just how the posts get displayed onto the page. And also we have a closing curly brace down here to end the while loop. So let's refresh, and now what we should see is a couple of posts. Okay, so the reason the posts didn't actually show up is because they were all posted to a different user. So I'm going to just change who they were posted to. I'll just change the first one. So posted to, I'll just change that to Francis. And what we should see is one post on our profile. And as you can see, here it is. So what I'm going to do to make it look a bit better is I'm going to go to our style.css file, and I'm just going to paste in a bit of CSS. So this is all the CSS I'm pasting in. It's just to style the links and the horizontal rows, basically these lines. So let's just refresh. Okay, let me see. Sometimes we have to go into the CSS folder and we have to access the file for it to show up. So let's go to /css/style.css and let's scroll down and see if it's been added correctly. Okay, so let's go back to the file or to the profile page now. And as you can see, the CSS got loaded now and our post was displayed. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, favorite and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.